Hello, Spartan families. I'm Sean Healy. I'm the principal of Olympus Junior High School. I want to welcome you to our virtual Back to School 2021. What I would like to do with you with this presentation is kind of give you the school-wide overview of everything that we're trying to accomplish here with your students here at Olympus this year, and to then direct you to the classroom presentations that the teachers will be doing. So I'll be covering the school-wide things, and then the teachers will be covering the classroom presentations in separate videos. So again, my name is Sean Healy. I'm the principal here at Olympus, and I'm joined by Jennifer Delorier, who is our assistant principal. Some of you who have been through the Ridgeview School recognize Mrs. Delorier as she was a teacher, but now she's moved up the ranks to assistant principal here at Olympus, and we are super grateful to have her here helping us out. She also spends some of her time assisting with the long-term independent study program and district curriculum. She is a tremendous asset to the Eureka School District, and we're very lucky to have her here at Olympus this year. Well, a little bit about me. This is my 25th year here at Olympus. It's the only school that I've ever worked at after getting my credential from UC Davis. Started as a science teacher, then assistant principal, and this is my 8th year as principal. Both of my daughters went through Olympus, so I actually know what it is like to be in your shoes right now, watching kids go through the junior high process. And you know, we always like to think of ourselves as bringing in elementary school students and sending them out as high school students. So again, I know that perspective very well from going through it with my own daughters. I know each kid is unique and different, and I have 2 very unique and different kids myself, very proud that they went through the Eureka School District and went through Olympus. One thing that I wanted to point out is that in 2014-15, some peers nominated me for the Assistant Principal of the Year for the state of California, but it wasn't for anything that I did. It was a true representation of a school. Of this school. Olympus is a tremendous place made up of some amazing people. And that award that I received was not anything for what I did. It was for the amazing school that I get to work at. And so we're very proud of the school that your kids are attending. Some of the topics I'll hit on in our brief presentation is we'll talk about the Olympus culture, the structure of the day, and the technology tools that our students will be using, some communication tools that we use throughout the year, our parent-teacher club, how we're rebuilding that, and then I'll direct you to the classroom presentations for teachers. Before I go into any of that, I just really want to thank everyone in our Spartan family for really coming together and putting this school year together. We've had a tremendous start, and it feels really good. A lot of really good positive vibes going throughout the school. Starts a lot with our web leaders, our 8th grade students who gave up several days over their summer to prepare to welcome all of our new 7th graders and our new 8th graders to our campus. Our web coordinators, the teachers who helped work with those web leaders and put together a fantastic orientation. The parent volunteers that helped us hand out schedules. All of this stuff that we have been able to pull off so far, no one does it alone. We all work together. I do like to say that, you know, everyone here wants to go to a really great school, and it's not because of the programs or the buildings or the curriculum, or it's definitely not the principal that makes it a great school. It's the people that are in that school that make it a great school. We have amazing people to work with, and your students are just tremendous. So I'm really grateful for all of the work that everyone has done, and tremendous students that we get to work with this year. And the foundation of all of that is our school culture. We support the academic, social, emotional, and the character development of our students. And you'll see these things throughout the year as we work with your kids. Yes, they're going to be challenged academically, but we're going to support these kids in their social, emotional development as well, and their character. We want them to be great human beings, not just humans doing. And our theme for the year is to restart, rebuild, and reconnect. Our web program, love the Lego logo that they put together, that was put together by one of our students who is now a ninth grader. We love Legos around here, but it also is kind of symbolic of what we're trying to do. We're going to restart, rebuild, and reconnect. Like when we restarted the school year, we're doing a full day in-person schedule for all of our students here. We've incorporated break and lunch, which was something that we did not have at all last year. We have our full slate of enrichments that are now available to us, and our district is providing a one-to-one Chromebook program. Every single one of our Olympus students has a district-issued Chromebook in their hands to use as a tool for education. To rebuild, our classroom configurations are so different now because of the mitigation and safety measures, everyone wearing masks indoors. We're able to put students together into collaborative environments, which we weren't not able to do in the past. Last year, we had to have everyone separated 4 feet. Now we can put them together and allow them to face each other and work together, which is something our school has been built around for the last couple of decades, is collaboration. We want our students to work together, and we can do that now. The teamwork and collaboration between our teachers, you'll see a lot of cross-curricular activities. Math will spill over into science and vice versa, and you'll see a lot of things in core that will spill out to all of the other subjects. We realize that our students need to be rebuilt a little bit as well. It's been almost 2 years since they've had a semi-normal school year. And one of the things that we've noticed is that they really need to rebuild their study skills and learn how to be students again. So we were very intentional in the opening days of school to go through essential Spartan skills with them. Our science department took care of all the technology tools and trained them on all the pieces of technology that they're going to have available. Our math team worked on all of the supports, things like math lab, study hall, time management, and how to seek out help if you need it here at Olympus. Our core classes talked about some of the procedural things, some of the rules and things that they will need to know in order to kind of operate and smoothly through our campus. And then our PE department worked on how to get involved, things like Stew Crew, our CJSF club, our web leaders, what they do, and after school sports that are up and running. And then we're also rebuilding our parent teacher club. You probably saw our Olympus update this Wednesday, how we're trying to recruit some people to help with specific areas of our parent teacher club as we rebuild that this year. And reconnect. We want, with all this isolation that people have had and everything throughout this pandemic, our web orientation was the launch of our reconnection. We wanted our students to come in and feel welcome. WEB stands for Where Everybody Belongs. And so after that day before school starts, that half-day orientation that our 7th graders had, we saw some very scared 7th graders come in, walking out of here very confident, knowing a whole bunch of people, making friends, making those connections. We're being intentional with having some lunchtime activities. We do a lot of lunch on the quad where we'll play music. Spontaneous dancing will start up on the outside stage, and we'll have games throughout the campus. Another thing at lunch is our blacktop and playground. Some people say that recess doesn't exist at junior high level, but I can tell you there's probably, we've got close to 2/3, maybe 3/4 of our student body out on the blacktop at lunch playing games. It is so neat to see. And then after school athletics are starting up. You'll hear a lot about that through the PE classes. We're reconnecting everyone with using some different communication strategies. We're making sure that every parent, every student, and every staff member receive the same consistent message from the office every single week. And all of our teachers are having a focus on the social and emotional well-being of their students. We are going to treat them as human beings, not just humans doing. So, in my 25 years here, I've been able to see the evolution of the Olympus culture. And I have to say, it is the foundation of any success that we have, because we're always guided by what is best for students. Now, over the past couple of years, we've been kind of mandated to do a lot of things that are not necessarily best for students, but we're being very intentional of rebuilding and restarting all of those things that are best for students. And that is the culture. We asked our students one year to kind of put together some words that go around our school culture, and you'll see a lot of very positive things here that go along with this. So the bigger the word, the bigger the response was by our students. So this kind of represents where we're going with our school culture. And it really has a lot to do with the hierarchy of needs. There's a lot of studies that talk about what are the actual needs of our students in order for them to achieve their highest potential. And we do a lot of good things with the physiological needs and the safety needs. We have a very safe campus. We have a very kind and respectful student body that students feel safe, they feel heard, they feel like they're involved, and they feel like all those basic needs are being met. But the psychological needs are the areas that sometimes schools really ignore. And we've been very intentional of making sure that we're building relationships and helping with friendships and helping with that social emotional stuff. And they also feel like they've been able to contribute something positive. And our students have lots of opportunities to be involved at school. And all of those things build the foundation to do the top of that pyramid. And that is the stuff that we do in class, that is achieving one's full potential. That is where they're able to go into the classroom and be the best versions of themselves. If we're able, as a team, it's not all done at school, it's also done at home. But as a team, we take care of those lower levels of the pyramid to build a solid foundation. That's the school culture. And then we're able to do some really rigorous academic work with our students because all of this solid foundation is there. Okay, so the daily schedule, it is a full day schedule, 6 periods every single day, and school starts at 7:45. Instruction starts at 7:50. So what you will see at 7:50 is that we will close the gates, we lock them up. Part of the reason we do that is for security. With all of the things that we've done over the past couple of decades for school safety, one of the things is that we would keep our doors locked. But now with COVID, and part of the mitigation is to increase ventilation. So we have our classroom doors open, but we have all the outside gates locked. So if you arrive past 7:50, your students are going to have to go through the office in order to get into the campus. Speaking of that, if you do arrive late, if you are more than 30 minutes late, parents, don't just drop them off and leave them to come in. We need you to come in and sign them in. So anytime past 8:20, we need you to stop the car, come in, sign them in so we know that they've been accounted for those 30 minutes. We go through first 2 periods, then take a 10-minute break. The next 2 periods, 3 and 4, and then we have about a 35-minute lunch. Periods 5 and 6, and then they dismiss for the day. Remember, Wednesdays this year are our collaboration days. Those are the days that we get out at 1:20. Every other day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we get out at 2:20. In those class schedules, every student is going to have a grade level English and history core class. That core teacher is kind of like the homeroom for your student. Those teachers see a smaller number of students and are able to build deeper connections with those students. And so that might be your primary contact for any types of issues that might come up in the school year. Reach out to the core teachers because they're going to know their students best. Every student will have a grade level integrated science class, and then they will have a math class. And at Olympus, we have right on grade level math, and we have an advanced track for that. most of our students are already placed based on their teacher recommendations from the previous year, their previous academic experience, or they took the placement test. If there's any questions about math level, please reach out to your math teachers about that. Every student has to have physical education in their schedule. Physical education, one of the things that we're kind of doing a little bit slower this year is that we're not asking them to dress in uniforms until sometime early September. So we haven't sold PE clothes yet. We haven't put those out for sale. We're just now kind of getting them started and acclimated to the whole physical education. And then the last period, or usually one of the periods, it doesn't always have to fall in the last period, is their enrichment or elective. And we'll go over those in just a sec. For the electives, in the spring, we typically will reach out to all of our students who are returning or coming up from our feeder schools, what their selections are for year-long electives. And for 7th grade and 8th grade, we have Spanish 1, but in 8th grade, we have Project Lead the Way. That's the design and modeling and engineering class. We also have band and choir with Mrs. Worski, who's an amazing music educator. In 7th grade, the year-long electives are Spanish, band, and choir, also with Mrs. Worski. And those are locked into your schedule for the entire year. If you don't have one of those year-long electives, then you will have trimester-long enrichments. And really what we're trying to do is encourage exploration. You don't have to specialize in junior high in order to be successful in high school. But we do have 3 different buckets of enrichments that we have available to our students, and we try to give everyone a taste of everything. So for STEM, our science, technology, engineering, and math enrichments, we have coding, environmental studies, flight and space, and medical detectives. Our teachers who teach these have been trained through the program Project Lead the Way and use their curriculum and their resources to deliver a consistent STEM program throughout the country. They're participating in that program. We also want them to explore the arts. So we have the band and choir, which are year-long enrichments, but we also have ceramics, art, and woodshop. And then we have some experiences, things that you're just never going to get anywhere else other than school. And that's our life skills, what used to be called home economics back when old people like me went to school. And then positive psychology, which is one of those things that we try to get every single student through positive psychology to, again, focus on their social emotional well-being. It's an incredible class, and it just keeps getting better and better every year. Let's talk about some of the technology tools, because we are utilizing technology in the classroom. And one of the cool things that we've noticed when we've started implementing technology is that we saw the level of collaboration, the face-to-face collaboration, the discussions have all been very focused, and our collaboration has actually increased. The fear when we first rolled out technology in the classroom is that our students would just be mindless drones sitting on their laptop the entire time, just working on tasks. And that is not the case. When you see that the technology is out, you will see students working together, collaborating, and building things and creating things as they go through. But with those district issued Chromebooks, it's for school related purposes only. Unfortunately, like during times of distance learning, some students started to get off the rails a little bit about utilizing their school issued Chromebooks for personal reasons, and that is not allowed. We do need our students to bring their fully charged Chromebook to school every day. Think of it as like a textbook, because we do have some online tools that we use. Google Classroom is one of them. Most of our teachers, if not all of our teachers, have a Google Classroom set up, ready to use for communication of assignments and a way for students to submit their assignments to their teacher. Our English and Language Arts program is called Amplify. It is a 100% online program that has interactive activities that they must have their Chromebook in order to participate in those. And our science curriculum is also online through TCI. The students all have access to those things. provided that they bring their fully charged Chromebook to school. Now, if something happens and they forget their Chromebook, we want them to try to navigate that. We don't necessarily want to rescue them and just help them through it unless there's something mission critical. They might have to just navigate the day without their Chromebook, and they'll remember feeling uncomfortable, and they won't forget it ever again. But we do have a few spares in case there's a mission critical assessment that needs to be done in a class, so they can borrow it just for that time. Now, the district just implemented a program called Go Guardian, which is a content monitoring software that monitors all of the district issued Chromebooks. And so we wanted to make you aware that there is a content monitoring system that teachers can lock down while they're in their classes, but they can also, there's also a feature that it kind of monitors them for appropriate use outside of school, even when they're not connected to our school's network. As I mentioned before, we're implementing some new communication strategies in order to make sure that everybody is up to speed and reading off the same sheet of music as far as what is going on here at Olympus. You have received a ton of emails from me already about keeping you up to date. The Olympus update comes out weekly, and that is one of our biggest strategies. Okay. To support you and make sure you have full access to how your student is doing, we use PowerSchool. PowerSchool allows you to see the student schedule, it allows you to track attendance, and it allows you to track grades. We recommend that you set up PowerSchool for weekly notifications. If you are checking it daily, if you're checking PowerSchool daily, it's kind of like watching your fingernails grow. It's very slow. There's not a lot of change, and you kind of get frustrated and you stop doing it for a while. But there is a feature where you can set up your own email notifications to come to you weekly. The Google accounts for our students, you don't have access to those, but just know that the Google accounts are a walled garden. They are only allowed to do school-to-school interactions, and those interactions are monitored through Go Guardian. And their teachers use Google Classroom. As we get all of the schedules kind of settled for the year, the academic teachers will send out invitations to parents to join the Google Classroom so they can see what is going on with their students. It's really a neat feature that just keeps getting better and better every year. As I said, some of the recurring things is that teachers will send out updates weekly, but mostly through the Olympus update. Those are sent out weekly from me, but the students, parents, and staff all receive the same message, and then they're all archived to the Olympus website. So if you missed something, you can always go back to the Olympus update section of the website, and you can find everything there. Now I'm done talking. I've talked a lot about the school, and now it's time for you to go into your teacher presentations. What in your email, you've got a menu of video links that are all posted to YouTube. You can watch them at your leisure. You can watch them at any time, and they will stay up for the entire year, so you can go back and see them at any time. And I want to thank you guys again for just a tremendous start to the year. And I want to thank you for your support that you've already given or that you will continue to give to the school. You can always reach me. My email address is there on the screen. And Assistant Principal Jennifer Delorier, you can reach her as well at that email address. We welcome you guys to reach out to us. If we don't know the answer, we'll know somebody who does, or we'll direct you to the right person to get the answer that you need. It's only together that we're going to make sure that our students have a tremendous year, and that we restart, reconnect, and rebuild for a tremendous school year. Thank you guys so much, and hail Spartans.